All right, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to today's training. This is a big day, big training, big times. I think you guys can hear me out there. Please comment. I can hear you if you can hear me. Now, my name is David A. Bettis, and today I'm going to go through a very detailed training, something I have never shared before, some things that I've never talked about, things that are very unique, but yet you can apply to your business starting today. Now, I've been in the business for about 15 years now, and every year, I'll be honest with you, it's always a challenge, always a struggle. But I know that I have figured out some things, quite a bit of things that have taken me from 0 to 7 figures. Now, today also, I want you guys to stick around because if you're watching this from the beginning right now, please just note I am going to give away and do some really big things at the end of this, okay? And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, but please, if you're watching this video, please stick around because I promise the end of this video is something you want to get to. It is worth being on. I promise you that. So today, let's go ahead and begin. Now, if you are new to here, get some paper, get a piece of pen, a paper and pen, whatever you got, a notebook. Get ready because I promise you I'm going to drop some bombs, if you will, as my buddy Brad Lee would say. I'm going to drop some bombs in this group. All right, so let's go ahead and start sharing. Here we go. Great. All right, so welcome. My name is David A. Bettis, and I own a few companies. One of them, the DAP Strategy, where we help customers, or I help our customers eliminate or mitigate their tax situation using legal tax methods. We can talk about that later. I've been in the tax industry for so long, about 14 tax seasons. I have a few companies. Number one, I have a company that does coaching and consulting for tax business owners right now. We've been doing that for several years now, and I really enjoy that part of our business. Now, a few other things that we do, obviously, are we, of course, founder of the Tax Growth Con, one of the most important things, and I am a seven-figure tax business owner now. Tax Growth Con, we're going to talk about a little bit later. So how I run a tax or how I run $1 million tax business without doing any returns. Now, you're probably not going to believe me. You're probably saying, David, it's not possible, because I thought it was impossible. I thought for a long time I wasn't going to be able to run a business like this without doing tax returns. And it's interesting because today, when I talk to tax business owners, every one of them says I do 100 returns, 300 returns, 500 returns. And I'm always wondering, like, how do you find time to do that? But then I look back at my career and I think, man, I had time to do that. So I see what they're going through. And so today I'm going to share with you all the secrets, if you will, of how I've done it and how you can do it too. Because some of the things I'm going to share with you are going to give you insights that you've probably never seen or thought of before. I'm hoping to expose some of those things to you as I go through this. But more importantly, I hope that I can give you what you exactly came for. So if there's a question or a comment, if you're here live, please comment live right now so I know you're live. But more importantly, if you have a question, just put it in the chat. We're going to get to those at the end, okay? All right, so stay to the end. As I mentioned, I have a surprise for you. I promise it is worth staying for. It is a surprise that you wouldn't believe. This is going to be a surprise. I promise you're going to be like, oh my God, he's really doing that. It is phenomenal. I promise you that. Please stay to the end, okay? So from 0 to $1 million in 5 years, because that's what it took me to go to $1 million, guys. It took me 5 years to go from $0 to $1 million, and I've been there ever since. So I've been in the $1 million club, if you will, for the last, I'd say, 10 years of my business career, and I've done that a few things, and I'm going to talk to you about them. So let's just talk about this. So my I'm gonna move this out because we're going to talk about the roller coaster real quick, right? So my career began before the tax industry. I was really trying to figure out life. And I was in my early 20s. I was in the real estate industry. I was selling homes or trying to. It was the late 2000s and there was a big market crash. And I didn't know what I was going to do because for a long time when I started my career, I wanted to do something that would get me to riches, to wealth. And I thought real estate was the way because in the mid 2000s, everybody was looking to sell, buy, invest in real estate. And that was the years of what they call the ninja loans. And if you know what that stands for, it stands for no job, no income approved. And everybody was getting all these loans. And so I thought getting into the real estate industry was going to be something that was going to change my life. And so when I got into the real estate industry, I soon began to realize that this was going to be something I was going to enjoy. And as soon as I started to see that, the market crashed. It fell out right from under me. And everything that I really wanted to do in real estate was just impossible because nobody was going to buy houses and everything was for sale because the market crashed. And I was in this predicament. I was in this place in my life where I needed to figure out what to do. And a friend of mine, who is today my business partner, introduced me to the tax business. Now, I had no accounting degree. I had no finance background. I didn't come from a big, long entrepreneurial family. So when he introduced me to this idea, I thought it was stupid. The honest truth, I thought it was stupid. I was like, man, I don't do that stuff. I'm not that great with numbers. I'm not in finance. I'm not, and I hadn't even ran businesses before. But he asked me to join him at a discovery day to learn about a business, the tax industry. And when I went there, a lot of people were trying to convince me to get into this business. It's a franchise model at the time. And everything that they were saying would just like, whatever. It was all BS to me. But then they said one statement that just really stuck out to me. I mean, it was apparent to me that this was probably a good thing when they said, David, this is a recession-proof business. And it stuck in my head because, just so y'all know, I mean, I had just gone into a recession. I was in the I was in the real estate business. I had just gotten my butt kicked and I was losing everything that I thought I was going to build. I didn't have real estate at the time, but I wanted to build an empire. And I'm like, man, I don't want to go through a recession again. Man, this sounds like a good idea. So I joined the tax business or the tax industry because I didn't want to have to go through a recession again. Now, I had no experience in this business, so it was kind of going to be a challenge, but I was up to making this challenge happen if I knew I wasn't going to be in the same predicament again. And so I got into the tax industry around 2008, 2009, and I really thought I was going to, do okay. I didn't know how good I was going to do, but in my first year, we got clearly almost near 1,000 new customers. Never done this before. It was just with really good marketing, with really good operations. That's not all true, right? Because everybody gets in the business and does really good. Honest truth, it was a lot of luck. I really went out and knocked on doors and shook hands and kissed babies real well. I mean, that's what I did for a long time. And it really worked. And so I got into this business thinking it was easy. But the honest truth, that year was probably one of the easiest years to be in the tax industry, being that we had gone through a recession, be it that online tax businesses weren't out there. There wasn't this free online turbo stuff. There wasn't all these things. So competition wasn't so great. Easy marketing at the time. It didn't have to go in all these digital formats. It was really still print ad. And I just knew how to get out of there and shake hands and kiss babies. That's what I did. And I really blew it up. And I thought this business was so easy. I thought it was so easy, right? And, I decided to do it again next year, but open more stores and really expand. And over the course of the next 3 to 4 years, I learned a lot. I learned that the tax business isn't easy and that there is a lot to learn. And a lot to learn, especially if you want to grow to $1 million. You see, I told myself early on, I want to be $1 million business in this industry because not very many will ever get there. And I thought, how do we do it? And I thought it was through expansion. I thought it was opening a ton of stores. I thought it was doing 1,000 or 10,000 tax returns rather. Like I kept on thinking of how big I had to get there. And I'm here to tell you today, guys, it's not the path. Opening a ton of stores is not the path. Oh, getting 1,000 clients or 10,000 clients isn't the path. But I'm going to share with you how I've gotten there and how today I don't even do taxes because I had to do a lot of taxes. I had to prepare returns. I had to do the things that I didn't want to do so that today, by the way, I can sit here and have these conversations with you. So let's go back to our presentation and talk about our ride. So I got tired, by the way, and this is I should actually preface this for you guys is I'm going to share with you 3 vital time frames in my journey in this tax business, like 3 pivotal moments, times where I had to make decisions. We'll call them epiphanies, revelations, big times, things that happened to me that really made me have to make a change. So in 2013, this would have made it about 4 to 5 years in the tax industry. I realized that I wasn't going to be a slave to my team anymore. So in 2013, I had grown, I think I was at about probably 10 stores, 10 retail tax shops. I had probably somewhere around, 100, 150 employees. I had really grown very fast in a very short amount of period. And it was very, very stressful and it was very, very overwhelming for me because I'd never done this before. And I was really flying by the seat of my pants. I was really just working. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I was just doing whatever needed to get done. I was never giving any time to planning. So I was just executing at the highest level that I could because that's what it was. So If we needed water, I would wait till we didn't have any water and I'd go get the waters, right? If we needed paper, I would do the same thing. I remember I had an office one year that ran out of paper and toner at the same time. And I literally had to go like leave that office and go find paper and toner to come back while customers waited for us to print everything. Like I have been there and I have done that. But in 2013, I realized that I needed to make a change in our business. And this is how I had this revelation or this epiphany. You see, I had a longtime employee that stuck with us really early on. And she actually was one of my first employees. And she was one of the best things that ever happened to me because she would manage our stores. She taught me a lot about the tax industry because I hired her from another tax business. I mean, she was kind of somebody who I depended on and somebody who was really a key individual in my organization. Now, I put a lot of trust and faith in them. I don't know if you've ever done that with one of your team members. And I counted on her to produce. And she did. For all these years, from 2008 to 2013, she was a great team member. She would show up. She would do a ton of tax returns. She would manage and guide people. She would run a store. It was like really good for me. But while she did all that, I was out doing the rest of the stuff. Like she only did that for 1 or 2 stores, and I was out there running the other 8. And at the time, it was one of the craziest things for me because this person, maybe I'm actually looking at this. I'm thinking it might even be 2012. Maybe it was 2012, maybe 13. But what happened is this person became such a big part of my team that she became kind of irreplaceable. And what I meant by that is that she did so many returns and she brought so many customers that if I lost her, I would lose a lot of revenue. I'd lose a lot of customers. I bet on her. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I bet on her. And in 2013, she decided that she did not want to work with me anymore without me knowing. She just decided one day that it was just not in it for her anymore. And she decided to tell me, David, that I'm not going to do taxes anymore. And I said, okay, well, I tried to convince her. I offered her more opportunity, which is more money. And she told me that she just decided that she was not going to do taxes anymore. And so I left it at that. And you know what happened? The tax season came and I lost a lot of customers. I mean, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. We lost about 300 returns that year. Around March of that tax season, I got a call from somebody asking if they, for this person, if they were there, that they could do their taxes. And I said, no, she's not longer with us and she's not doing taxes anymore. And they said, I called the wrong office. I'm supposed to call the other office, which is another tax office. I'm like, what do you mean? And so what I came to realize is this person decided to leave me and work at another tax business. And she took all her customers. And it was one of the hardest things for me to swallow because I had been so good and so faithful to this person. I had paid them very well and I did as much as I possibly could for them. And for her to leave me was it was like I was cheated on, I was stolen from. I had, my legs broken, metaphorically, like people, anything bad you could think of, it like happened to me in that moment. And when I finally got, the frustration out of my mind, so I wouldn't be so mean about it, I confronted her. I called and I said, hey, what's going on? And she proceeded to tell me that, hey, I didn't think I was going to do taxes, which is total BS. And that she was, she didn't know she was going to work there, but she's now working there. And then I said, just tell me the truth. Like, why do you want to work with me? Like, why? I couldn't understand it. And she says, well, quite honestly, they offered me more money. And I said, but I mean, I paid you good. She goes, yeah, but they paid me $1 more. And I said, $1? Like $1 more is what you would leave me for? She goes, yeah, but you said, that was my pay when I didn't think it was fair. I said, did you tell me? Did you bring that up? Did you bring it to my attention? And she says, no. And I said, if you would have just told me, we wouldn't even have this conversation. And she goes, oh, well, I didn't think like that. And I'm sorry, but I'm over here now. And I said, all right, whatever, bye. And I hung up on her. And I finished that tax season a little pissed off, a little frustrated because I put all my kind of eggs in one basket in that office with that person. And I tried my best to please that person, keep her happy. Throughout this whole time she's with me, I'm making sure she's happy. I'm making sure she's got the right staff. I'm like trying to make sure this person is the right person for my business because they're doing so much. And then for them to cheat and leave on me, it really hurt me. And so I ended that tax season with the idea that I was never going to be a slave to my team again. And I can't even say that I had a team. I'm going to say I won't be a slave to my employees again. If you've ever been there, please say slave in the chat, right? Please say slave. But I was a slave to them, meaning every time they asked me for something, I gave in. Every time they asked for a raise, I paid it. Anytime they asked for anything, I paid it. Why did I do that? Because I wasn't a leader, and I needed them more than they needed me. And this was one of the pivotal moments in my career when I realized that I needed to build a team rather than a bunch of employees. I needed to build a team rather than a bunch of employees. This was like huge for me. Like having a team is not the same as having a group of people that just work for you. And I used to think that whatever I did was to please people, and it's not that way. So what I did is I started to think about team building. And team building became my like number one focal point in everything I do. Like that was it. I said I can no longer just employ people. I have to either make them part of my team or they got to go. And so here's what I started to do, right? I started to build a core team. I said I got to find key players, people who want to go with me to the top. Like who wants to get on the bus and let's go, or the rocket ship and go to the moon with me. And I started to think this way in everything I did. And if you are in this predicament and you've been there before, you understand what I'm saying. Like you want to find people who want to buy into your vision, who want to buy into the culture, if you will, because culture is king. And what I believe is culture is how people feel about your company when they're in it. And because they feel this way, they produce, they generate, they grow, and they develop. And when I talk about promoting, I think about promotions in culture, either promoting loyalty or turnover. Now, let me tell you what I mean by turnover. And my belief system tells me, just to be clear, that if I have a great culture, I'm either going to promote people to be the best they could be for me, or they going to quit. You get that? Like I want them to either be the best or they're going to quit. They're going to be the best, they're going to quit. Why are they going to quit? Because they can't handle how good we are. I find that happening every day. You know, every day people will quit on a company that they don't fit in with. So when we hire people today and I train people today, I tell them how I want it to be. Like we believe in personal development. We believe in honesty. We believe in integrity. We believe in building a core team here. And if you don't feel like this is a future for you, you don't feel like you could be somebody who wants to grow and develop, then this may not be for you, but you can stick around until you figure it out. They typically don't even stick around. They leave. They gone. So you must, in my opinion, find a core team because culture is king. So what I like to think about every day is like, what's the vision that I require to give to my team to go to the next level, to be in the next place with me? And my original core team, which is still with me today, I remember we'd go out and we'd talk and we'd sit around and we would strategize like every day. And I'd say, we're going to the top. We're going to have millions, of customers. We're going to open so many stores. We're going to deliver. We're going to hit this. We're going to do this. And I would just go on and on and on and on. And I was probably like a broken record. But I indoctrinated them, and they know that. I indoctrinated them into something that was bigger than where we were. And trust me when I tell you, it was really never about the money. It was about the future that we could produce together. So opportunities for everyone. I used to say that all the time. We're all going there. We're all going to make it. We're all going to get there. We're all going to develop. We're all going to grow together. We're all going to be somewhere. Like we're all going and we're on our path. And so when I think about all the things that I do today, it's all about vision. How do we sell that vision? So I also think about how you structure. So let's talk about how, and by the way, let me go back here and just talk about vision real quick. Vision is your belief on where we're going, right? Your strong conviction of where we're going. That's what your vision is. And so when you get with your team, your core team, you should be saying where you're going. It shouldn't be like we're just going to get to tomorrow, or we're going to get to February 15th or April 15th or October 15th. Where we're going is we are going to serve how many customers and how long is it going to take us? And what is that going to equate to me and you? Like, is it just for the company or is it for all of us? Now, when I think about structure, I think about, do you have a plan, right, for them to go to the next level with you? And I think about this all the time. And I didn't think before, this time where I said, I'm not going to be a slave no more. right? And if you've been a slave, comment slave, because I want to know, because I was a slave for my team for so freaking long. Anyways, so structure is vital. And what I mean by this is, how do you structure your organization? I think about organizational charts, which is like a hierarchy, like a visual depiction of where you want to show your team to go. So there's you, and then there's probably a manager or assistant manager. Then there's tax pros, or if you're a bigger company, there's a CEO and there's a CFO and there's a CMO and you see that's an organizational chart. And that organizational chart shows people who are within the company where they can go. But if where they're at is as high as they can go, don't expect them to work any harder than they have to. If where they're at is as far as they can go, don't expect them to work any harder than they have to. So if you're out there, you're thinking, well, I want to grow a team. Well, you got to give them something to shoot for. You got to sell them the vision and tell them where they're going. And compensation that counts is so important as well. And I think about this because that person that I said that cheated on me and left me, I was paying her pretty damn good money. And I thought that's how you kept people happy. I thought you kept people happy through money. I thought that's how it works. But I've learned money is just part of the equation. It's the intangibles that are more important. It's the recognition. It's the opportunity. It's the feeling of being part of something. That is exactly where real compensation lies. And many times you and I've been there, I structured everything on money. You're going to get money. You're going to get money. You're going to get money. And people love money. I know that. I tell people they're going to get money all the time, but they can't just get money. They got to feel like they're winning. They got to feel like they're part of something. And this is the intangible and tangible parts of compensation. So it got so clear when I stopped being cheap in 2015. So actually, let me recap here, just so y'all know. Building a core team is the most important thing in your business today. And if you don't think like that, and you think about everyone as an employee, and you think of them as an expense, and you think of them as someone that you have to use or work with, right? No, they should all be soul division. They should all have a future, and they all should be part of a team that works together. All right. So that's the first revelation, was going to be when I realized I was going to be a slave to my team anymore. All right. Number 2. It got so clear when I stopped being cheap. This is only 2 short years later, I stopped being cheap. All right. And if you're here, comment you're here. If you're live, comment live, please, just so I know you're here. I'm looking at the chat. If you're here, comment live. Where's everybody? Yeah. Anyway, so here we go. So when I stopped being cheap in 2015. So when I was in 2015, I was trying to be cheap in everything I did. And I was trying to save money in different ways. I was trying to try and convince myself that I didn't have to spend money on certain things. And I believed that I really was really only worth so much. And I used to say, in respects to being cheap, I used to say people don't want to pay so much for my service. I don't know if you've ever been there, but you're like, they won't pay more than $200, or they won't do business with me if I charge them that much. Or what are they getting? A piece of paper for, I would be like, are they just going to get this little letter for $300? Like, I used to think that what I was charging people was too much money. And so when I'm talking about being cheap, I was cheap in my mind. And by the way, I believe that the way we buy is how we sell. So I was cheap then, right? I was cheap then. I believe the way we buy is how we sell. And so I was so cheap. So I would tell myself, well, we can't charge more than $250. And then we can't charge more than $300. We can't charge more than that. Why can't we charge more than that? Because, well, definitely people won't pay it. People won't pay it. And I would look at the world and I would say, well, people won't pay me this much money, so why even try to charge more? And totally stupid of me, because I missed out on a lot of opportunity. In 1 year, just to be clear, in 2015, I thought I would get more customers if I lowered my prices. Let me say that again. I thought I would get more customers if I lowered my prices. So I did. And guess what? I didn't get any more customers. Being cheap didn't mean more buyers. Being cheap did not mean more buyers in my equation. And because it didn't mean any more buyers, what does that mean? I just lost revenue for no reason. It was so stupid. And here's what I want to tell you. I didn't need to lower my prices. I needed to increase my prices. I didn't need to lower my prices. I needed to increase them. Let me talk about that, right? So I think about value-driven pricing models. Now, like before 15, I was like, well, what do they get? They get this piece of paper, they come in here, my guys are okay. And I didn't believe in my product. In fact, it was very difficult for me to talk to people about what we did because I didn't think we were worth what we were charging. I remember in my like 2010 or 11 year, one of my friends came into my office, filed their tax return, called me up and said, David, is this right? You're charging me $300? And I remember feeling so ashamed and so bad and stupid. And I remember saying, you know what, man, I don't know what happened. We must have had a pricing error. I'm going to give you $200 back. And I gave him a $200 refund because I thought we were overcharging. I don't know about you guys, but I've been there. Now, some of you are brave people have probably already beat me on this thing, but just hear me out. Like I did some of these things. And so what I've learned is you need to have a value-driven pricing model. So value is what you perceive something to be worth in exchange for dollars, right? Value is the perception of worth in relations to dollars. So when you get someone to give you something, that means give you money. They value what you're doing. They value what you've given them. You value these things. And so when I think about value-driven pricing model, I think about charging more, but being worth it. Let me say it again. I believe charging more, but being worth it. And if you really like that, charge more and be worth it, say charge more. Comment in the chat, or maybe, yeah, come on, charge more. So comment in the chat if you believe you should charge more and be worth it. Because I believe that. I believe I should charge more every single time I meet a customer, but I definitely don't want to charge them more if I'm not worth it. And so back then, I didn't believe I was worth it. I definitely did not believe I was worth it. And so I'd meander around the price. I would tippy-toe around what we charge. I'd be very sad or if somebody disclosed the price to someone and they were not happy. And now I'm like, hold on. When 2015 hit, I was like, that's it. I need to change this. And so what I did is I started to structure a fee-based business model because what I used to do, and here's this, I used to structure my stuff as a service, and then I transitioned that and I said, I'm going to make it a product. Let me say that again. I used to structure things as a service, and I said, I'm going to make it as a product. Thank you, Dwight, Kim, Ruth, Lisette, Lisa, everybody, thank you for commenting. So here's what I did. I said, okay, like a tax return, they think of it as a service, but I'm actually not doing a service. I'm actually preparing documents, right? So that's a service. That turns into a product because I give them paper. Then I said, okay, like typically our customers would think that we would do things in excess of just the tax return, like respond to notices or to help them with responses to notices rather, and maybe help them maybe just even understand a notice that they received, or maybe they get maybe they have a form that they're missing and maybe they need help with that. Or there's so many things that your customers come in, like literally people would come in and say, David, I got this retirement account. What do I do with it? Right? Like thinking we're financial advisors. And by the way, just to be clear, tax professionals are some of the most trusted people in the world. Like literally any country, doesn't matter. When somebody says they can file a tax return, it's like you are a automatic genius. Like apparently you know about finances, you know about credit, you know about housing, you know about taxes, you know about all the new laws and changes that are going to come up there. If you agree with me, by the way, that you are trusted to do a lot of things, I want you to comment trust, because I know people trust you. Like I would get the randomest questions all the time. Like, oh, David, I stopped paying on a credit card. Like, how do I get that off my credit report? I don't know, right? Like, I'm not 100% sure how that works, but they thought I knew, right? Truth. You see, I know you guys know. And so I started to package everything I sold, if you will, as a product and not a service. So when you want to talk to me, you're going to pay so much money because I'm the product, right? I'm not just saying I just do a service, because the service is open-ended. The service is so open-ended. I actually want to productize myself. And so I started to charge for everything. Like a customer walks in, they pay. You want a copy of your return? You pay. And I didn't do this for the sake of making money. I did this for the sake of building value in their eyes. I did this for the sake of building value in their eyes. And what I mean by that is when I charge for something, that means they value what they are paying. And every time I've ever done anything for free, nobody's ever valued it. Never. And I don't mean just in business, in general. Like, people don't value anything. Like, for an example, I had a family member who used to file their taxes with me. I said used to, before 2015, who would always file their taxes with me. And they would come in and, they would bring their paperwork and I would file their return, and I never charged them, right? And never charged them. And they did this for years and years. And I mean, up to 15, right? So about 6, 7 years with me. Until finally in that year that I said, I'm going to do a value-driven price model, I said, I'm going to charge this person's family member. I understand we can all have our opinions about family, but let me just tell you something. If your family isn't willing to pay you for what you do, they don't value you very much. And it's not trying to attack you or hurt you in any way. I'm just telling you something. I would do my mom's for free, obviously, and some of my real close family. But if this is a cousin that just wants something for free, here's the deal. Like, I have to make money to pay my team, to pay the lease, to run the business, right? Like, we have expenses. They don't go away. So I have to make money. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to charge this person a lot of money. I'm just going to charge them, let's say, $100. And that should be enough to pay my team member, to cover my overhead. I thought it was fair number, like fair, totally fair, $100. So I presented the price and they were like, $100? Like, why would I pay you $100? I'm like, to do your taxes? Well, I don't want to. I don't need to do it here anymore, bro. Don't worry about it. I'll go take care of this somewhere else. And they took off. And I thought, in my mind, like, what an ass, and I wanted to finish the word there. And I said, this is dumb. This is just dumb. And I thought, this tells me something. This is affirmation to me. Just to be clear, affirmation to me was saying, if you give something away for free and then you try to charge for it, people won't pay it because they don't value it anymore. So I stopped doing anything for free. I stopped it. And I said, everybody's going to pay me for something. And what it did is it created a few things. Value-driven means they pay more. It created stickiness. Stickiness to me, by the way, means that customers now value me so much that they always come back. Retention, right? The ability to get somebody to come back to you year over year over year is the stickiness we created. It created a subscription model in some cases. So what I did is I started to say, okay, maybe this person needs something year round. So we have something called the Crown Club in our organization. Crown Club is a program that you can offer to your customers that gives them year-round benefits. So they could prepay for this thing. So imagine if you could get your customers to pay you $100 on top of a tax return for you to be at their service year-round, as opposed to them coming in on one-offs or coming in every now and then for one-off questions that you're probably going to do for free. Why don't I get you in a subscription that you can pay once a year, but it's a subscription that covers annually, that you could benefit from, like coming into our store and getting copies of your tax return, or getting help with the notices that you receive, or responding to a notice that you received. Or if you're a victim of identity theft, we can help you. Or if you need additional time or want to schedule an appointment on your time, we can actually include that in there. Or maybe you're a notary and you want to offer notary services to them, all inclusive of your program, right, that you did for them in the tax return, but you're going to pay for it in advance, a subscription model. We do that in all our stores. This year alone, we've done $113,000 as of this year, just in additional subscriptions that customers are paying on top of the tax return, just to be clear. So let me stop here and just go back to this real quick. I want you guys to get this, is that I believe that we are some of the most valuable people in the world. Tax professionals have a huge seat at the table, if you will. The IRS constantly changes the code, right? The industry is constantly evolving. Things are changing so fast that customers or taxpayers can't keep up. Our job is to stay relevant, to stay up to date, to be the experts that they care to come to. And we need to be that person that they come to every single year. The retention on a tax customer is seriously high if you are the value-driven model that I'm talking about. All right, so if you're still here, say I'm here, please. And if you're still here, say I'm here. I see some of you chatting, but I want to make sure I got you guys here. All right, so keep to the end because I promise you, I'm going to give you something crazy. So don't leave me. I got one more thing I'm going to share with you. So let's go. I'm here. Thank you guys. All right. In 2018, I started to fire my clients. This was another epiphany for me. I started to get rid of people. And this was a hard pill to swallow. Now, some of you have probably already done this, but this was hard because my belief system always told me you're supposed to keep every customer that you get. My belief system says you serve. My belief system says you take care of the people that come into your store. And I believe, I totally believe that this was something I needed to learn. So I'm going to share with you what happened for me. Okay. So in 2018, I started to realize that the clients that I was servicing or serving weren't always the right clients for me. I realized that because I would have clients who came in and they would yell and moan and cry when the IRS didn't fulfill their end of the bargain. Not that I didn't do it. When the IRS did. You ever had a client come in and say, well, where's my money? Or why isn't my return back? Or where is my refund? Or why didn't you do your job correctly? Or what's going on? Like, have you ever had that? Say I, right? Comment I. Anybody ever been, had their life threatened? Because I have, say I, right? And if you've been in that position, then you realize that some of the clients that you work with today or have worked with in the past are the people that really don't promote you, don't value you, aren't the people that you want to work with forever, right? And I've seen this because, or I saw this because it was getting very, very hard sometimes to talk to certain clients. Just, ridiculously hard. Like people would call on the phone and they just weren't rational. They just weren't, there's a lot of words I can use, right? They just weren't the people. And as much as they paid, it was still like, even if you paid me, I want to give you your money back. And there's the door. And I got to that point in my business because I was tired. I was tired of being a slave to people for the money. And just so you know, I do believe that there is a point where you got to be a slave to the money to make money so that you could eventually say, hey, I'm done with you. Okay, I do believe that. But this was my turning point. And when I hit that, I was like, this is it. No more. I need to find who I want to work with. And that was it. Like it changed my life because I said, I can't serve everyone. Here's a tip for you. If you really want to get clear on something today, I'll tell you the one thing that's changed my whole life is when I realized who I wanted to serve. Not what I wanted to serve, who. When I realized there was a certain group of people that I absolutely love working with, which is tax business owners, which is high net worth individuals who I absolutely love working with. Like I will do that all the rest of my life, right? Because I absolutely love working with people who are hardworking, committed, have conviction, love to, that understand the value that I have. So they love to pay me, but in exchange, they understand that my value will deliver and over deliver to them. Like they know this. When somebody writes me a check for $5,000, it's serious for me and for them. And I find the bigger the check, just to be clear, I find the less that they call about little things. And so when I realized this, it's like, God, so we started to lean out and I started to prune off. We were at, in 2018, about 5,000 or 6,000 tax returns, and we've just been pruning off. Why? Because I can always charge people who love me more. And I can always get rid of the people who don't love me. Because the people who don't love me and I don't love working with, they ain't willing to pay, they're not loyal, and they don't value my time or energy or my attention. So it doesn't matter, right? So what did I do? I started to think about the ideal customer, working with the right clients. You should love who you work with, period. You should not dread a customer walking into your door. You shouldn't dread that. You shouldn't be, oh, I don't want to work with this person today. Oh, because I've been there. I used to do a lot of taxes. And I remember saying, I hope they cancel their appointment. Please put in the chat, I'm with you if you feel my pain right now. Like there were customers, I'm with you. Comment, I'm with you. But there were customers that I was like, man, I hope they don't show up. I hope they don't come to the office today because I don't want to deal with them. Right? There were customers that I thought, won't they find another tax person? Is there someone else in the world that can serve them besides me? I was there for so long, guys. And so you need to love who you work with. And here's a good opportunity for you. What I would encourage you to do is to pick 10 of your number one clients, people that pay you well, that you definitely love and enjoy working with. And if you could keep those people for the rest of your life and be customers, they could be your customers for the rest of your life, you would do that. Pick 10 of them and then study those 10. Like literally study them. What's their age group, income, demographics, married, unmarried, socioeconomic status. Those are some high words, but just think about the things like where do they live? Find the commonalities in all 10 and then use that as who you want to serve for the rest of your life, or at least temporarily for the rest of your tax career. I hope they don't come back next year. Thanks, Lisa. So my belief here is that if you really want to get clear on your ideal customer, you need to pick the people you want to work with, and that's it. And so that's what I did. So fewer clients allows more attention, by the way. I believe that if you have fewer clients, you can give the ones that you have a lot of attention. Attention is what most customers really want. Like they truly want to just have someone to go to and ask for advice, guidance, mentorship, and a solution. And they're willing to pay it if you have less of those. If you have less of those, they're willing to pay it. I've been there. I've seen it. I've lived it. And so the fewer people, the better. So what happens when you understand who you want to serve? This is very unique. And this actually is something you should take notes on, right? Is the clearer you get, the easier it is to remember what to say. So I've been members of the Chamber of Commerce in all the areas that I'm in. I'm here in Texas, and I've got some people that I've been members of the Chamber of Commerce and other organizations. And maybe you've been there and you get to a meeting and they ask you what you do, and then you're just like, I am a tax person, right? Whatever your title is, you can say it, right? But just saying that doesn't really resonate with an audience. Like, I do taxes. Okay. Somebody says I sell cell phones. The other guy says I sell insurance, right? Like, easy to communicate message is hey, I do this. But when you start understanding who you really want to serve, then you don't say I do taxes. You say I do taxes for high net worth individuals. I do taxes for married professionals who want to mitigate their tax situation or maximize their refund, right? I do taxes for realtors. I do taxes for hardworking professionals who work from home. I do tax returns for individuals who make $150,000 or more. You see how that works? When I got clear on who I wanted to serve, my avatar, then whenever I had a message to send to the world, that's what I would say. I help high net worth individuals file their taxes timely, accurately, but most importantly, to the best possible circumstance the IRS has to offer, right? IRS code has to offer. So you'll never be forgotten, and it targets the right people when you say it. I would encourage everyone here to stop saying what they do and really be specific about what they want to do. Stop just saying I do tax returns. I'm a tax professional. I'm an EA or I'm a CPA. Like, those are all so generic. It does not resonate with somebody. It may resonate. That's a better statement. Let me say that again. It does not stand out and it allows you to be forgotten. You get that? If you're getting this, say I got it. If you're getting this, say I got it. I want to make sure you get this, because this is powerful for me. When I learned this like changed my whole business. It helped me understand how I can get to the million, because I started to get narrower in where I was targeting, and then I started to get more from each client, and then my income just started, or my sales just started to go through the roof. You got it. Good. And that's something I didn't know for a long time. And I would serve anybody. It literally, I would do business with anybody because it was, well, because that's what I was looking for. Imagine, just to be clear, this is a very good analogy. Imagine if you were looking to get, before you met your significant other, if you're in a relationship today or in your marriage, what if you just went out there and just like, man, I'm just looking for anyone, right? I don't care what they look like, what they do, where they're from, what background they have. Just if somebody walks up to me and says, hey, how you doing? I'm like, do you want to get married? Right? Like that is exactly what you're doing. Is you're just sending a blanket statement out there saying I'm a tax pro. But it's, if I were to go out there and I'm saying I'm looking for a woman that's this tall, that has this shape, that has this experience, that has got this skill set, that is from this area with this demographic, with this kind of attributes, right? With these kind of qualities, with these kind of hobbies and likes. Like I can go real narrow. The more narrow, by the way, the harder it is to find them. But when you find them, you got what you want. You get that? I hope that works. All right. So here's how it is. I'll never do a return in 2022. Actually, I haven't done a return in 3 years. No, 2 years. 2 years. I have not done one tax return, including my own. And I'm going to share with you how I do that. So how I run my 7-figure business today. So here's where you need to start envisioning yourself. Imagine you not doing taxes anymore. I'm not trying to get religious, but if you don't want to do a tax return anymore, let's say amen, please. If you do not want to do a tax return ever again, say amen, please. Say amen. All right. So I'm looking to see the amens in here. All right. So let me show you how I run this business. And I'm going to share with you exactly what I do on a daily basis to make sure that this business continues to grow and it runs smoothly and efficiently. Okay. There you go. Amen. Times 10. All right. So my goal every single day in my business is to have strategic planning. Like you're probably like, what's that? Right? Well, it's really just me having a plan for the next 12 and 24 months. Like literally mapping out. And we talk, by the way, we do this what I'm about to share with you. I do this stuff for our Tax Business Growth Academy members. So people who are in our academy, we actually go through this, and this is part of our, right around April, May, we do this, where we go through a strategic planning, where we actually map out our marketing cycles, our targets in revenue, our targets in new customer acquisition, our targets for the growth of our company, our positions, our organizational structure. All of this is like what we're going from, right? So you want to have this, like for an example, right now you're thinking, well, I probably could use more help. Well, how soon do you want to put that help on, right? Like how soon do you want to hire people? And you're probably thinking at the same time, like, well, what kind of marketing efforts or strategy do I have after April to acquire new customers? Well, I'll figure that out when I get there. Well, imagine if you already had that mapped out. Well, that's my job. As the owner of the company, as a CEO, my job is to help to do strategic planning. So I do 12 and 24-month plans. Used to think 5 years was a great plan, but here's what I'll tell you, man, nothing stays the same longer than 24 months. And we've all been shown that just through this pandemic time and the recessions and all the things that have happened in our lifetimes. You know that things just don't pan out after 24 months. So my job every day is to do the strategic plan. So what I do is I review that on a pretty much quarterly basis to make sure we're on track. And I just use that as my roadmap to think, what am I going to do this month? What am I going to do this week? Right. And so what I do is I get that stuff and I go to team and team meetings and coachings. And so what I do is I literally every day, my job is just to meet with my teams and coaching, my team. That's it. That's really what I do on a daily basis. That's not it, but that's part of it. So what I'll do is I'll get into department meetings. I'll get into staff meetings. In fact, every morning, I am part of a meeting with my team. Every morning, I'm part of a meeting with my team. And that morning ritual really is me saying, hey guys, what are your targets for today? And they go through their targets. They actually host the meeting. I don't host the meeting. They host the meeting. Each one of our leaders will take turns running a meeting where we'll actually, here's a tip for you guys. They'll host their own meeting where all of them will get on through Zoom, through video. They'll share their targets for the day. They'll share their successes and victories. They'll ask each other to share a victory or success. So they're getting pumped up, motivated, excited. We'll go through different departments. We'll have somebody from our operations team share some things that are going on, any important updates. We'll have some people from our other lines of business because we're in the insurance business. So we'll have some insurance talk. And then what we'll do is I'll come on there and I'll just talk to them about some of the high level things they need to be thinking about. Like this morning, we were talking about staffing. I'm sharing with them, guys, I understand that you love your team, but here's the time of year where we need to really figure out who the winners and who the losers are. And I hate to say it that way, but we don't want to lose winners, so we need to allocate our hours of operation, our hours of availability for payroll. We need to allocate them to the people who are winners and the people that you think can be part of our team at a higher level, the people that we can grow with. And I'm having, talks like this morning. I actually talked to them about, you're probably wondering like, well, David, I can't do all these. Let me just tell you, all this stuff I've come up with as I grow through this business. And I share all this stuff with my Tax Business Growth Academy. But here's what I'll tell you is, I told them this morning, you're either a parent or you're being a coach. Parents want to solve all their kids' problems. Coaches help people get through their problems. And so I'm like, hey guys, here you go. Talk to your team in a way that doesn't make you a parent. Don't solve their problems. Let them figure out how to solve their problems and be their coach. And so I give them tips and strategies. And we did this every morning, literally for 15 to 20 minutes. Every single morning, I do that. And then on a weekly basis, I meet with all my departments. I meet with a marketing department. We meet with our sales department. And I have all these departments because they're part of our core team. And so you're probably thinking, well, I don't have all those things. It all started with one person and plus me. And then it started with 3 people. And then it started with 4 people. And then it started with 5 people. And today we have a really strong team of about 60 people, probably across all of our companies. So it's not like I'm trying to tell you guys that you can't do any of this. You might not be able to do it yet, but these are the way you grow your company. Next, I monitor key metrics. I monitor sales, lead conversions. Those are the 2 things I monitor pretty much daily. Did we hit our target for the day? What are our conversions for the day? If we generated leads, which I believe every business needs to generate leads every single day. There has to be a lead funnel. Every day you must find new money. And that lead funnel is typically through, lead lag indicators. And so when I think about lead lag indicators, lead being what gets them there, lag is what happens. So typically when I think about this, like most people want to monitor the activities. This actually a better analogy would be activities versus results. So some people want to micromanage, and I don't micromanage all the time. And I think about it this way, like if a store or a business doesn't hit their sales goal for the day, I'm not overly upset about it, right? So we'll do that one day. Next day, you don't hit it. Next day, you don't hit it. After 2 or 3 days, I realized something. The result is the sale, right? And it did not happen. But I'm not now asking questions anymore about why. I'm not looking at the sales goal. I'm actually asking questions of what they've been doing, because the activity produces a result. So I want to monitor the result, not the activities. It only becomes apparent to me when results are not there that I need to look at activities. And so that's when I get deeper with the store or deeper with the team. I start thinking about the things that I can monitor with them. Marketing, I believe, by the way, if you are the CEO and you're the owner of a company, I believe you're the best content creator the company has. Now, if you've ever hired a marketing company or hired somebody to help you market, or hired one of your children to be your social media expert. Oh, anybody done that, by the way? You can put your hands up or say a wave or something in the group, because some of you have probably done this. Here's what I will tell you. Nobody knows your business like you. You'll notice that when they market, they put their message out there in the world, let's say on Facebook or Instagram or in the paper. They don't speak like you. They don't talk like you. They don't know the content like you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be the most creative person, but I believe the content that comes out, you must put together. I believe you're the best person for it. You may be telling me, David, I'm not a marketer. I don't do anything with marketing. If you want to hit $1 million, you better get good at marketing, because you are eventually going to have to stop doing taxes and start marketing your business. Like, you are the best suited person ever to market your business. There is no better advocate. There is no better cheerleader. There's no better person in the world than you to get up on front of the room and say, follow me, come with me, buy from me, let me serve you, whatever your message is. You are the best fit for that. And so I believe that's my job every day. I'm out there, doing the sales, meeting with my team, or not doing sales right now, but marketing and content creation. And then I learn into closing deals. Like my job is to close deals every day. So if we're going to get new customers, typically I don't need to do all the deals, but I like to close deals. I like to close deals. Like I get phone calls, I get appointments, I get on the call, I help close the deals. And then what do? Turn over all the work. A wise entrepreneur, by the way, somebody's going to be at our Tax Growth Con told me one time. His name's John Hewitt, by the way, and he told me once, which was pretty interesting. He said, you can tell me whatever you want, just know that I'm not going to do the work. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, you might as well tell my assistant, because she's going to figure out who's going to do the work, but it ain't going to be me. Because my job's to think. My job's not to do. CEO of two, former CEO of two of the most, the biggest tax businesses in the country. And now now he's a board member and owner of the third largest tax business in the country. And the reason I'm sharing his story is because when he told me that, it was very impactful for me. When he said, you don't need to do, you need to think. Like you need to be the thinker in your company. Somebody's got to think. And it can't be your team, because most of the time they're not going to think like you. Again, they can't have the conviction like you. They can't think like that. So marketing is important, closing deals. Personal development, this is what I do every day. So I don't know if you guys know some of the guys that I work with. I've worked with Cardone before. I've been in Cardone training. I've been with Brad Lee's training, Coach Michael Burt's training. I've been part of a few masterminds that probably you never heard about. I've been to conferences, 10X Growth Cons, and any conference you probably think of, I probably have at least attended or been there virtually at some point. I voraciously read. I'm on YouTube all day looking, or not all day, that's a lie, when I can, and trying to get more content in my mind, because I believe that the development of me as the leader is going to take us to the 8 and 9 figures. And it's going to get there. All we have to do is just continue to invest. And so my job as the CEO today, and yours would be too, is to develop you every day. Your job is to develop you for the sake of your team and your company. The better you get, the better they get. There's something called, by John Maxwell coined this phrase, and he said, the law of the lid. And the law of the lid simply states that, you can only go as far as the top, the lid, and you are the top. So a company can't exceed the leadership of the team, of the company. So really, if whatever I know is as much as my team can go. And so I've learned that, and now every day I'm trying to incorporate readings and trainings and going to events and joining masterminds and coaching and really getting into those things. Like I mentioned in my previous training, we already covered that. I said one of my major limiting belief was that no one else had a business like mine, and nobody could coach me or help me because they just didn't understand it. See, my business is seasonal. My business is different. We don't really run just like everyone else. And my marketing is totally different. And I don't actually have a product. I have a service. And I told myself all this BS for so long. And that's why I never got to the next level, because I never allowed personal development to get into my life. I never allowed anybody to coach me. I never allowed anybody to get into my mind. I never bought any books or went to courses, because I was in a mindset that was just wrong. Now today I'm the total opposite. Like I actually act ignorant. I think the older you get, the less you know, and the more you should be open to things. And so now I'm always constantly, I'm paying for a mastermind, I'm paying for a course, I'm buying a new book, I'm enrolling in this, I'm doing this, I'm subscribing to that, because all I want to do is just get more and more content. All right, so let's recap real quick. Team building is key to running $1 million business. You got to keep on building a team, selling them the vision, giving them an opportunity to see the structure that you are building, and showing them the way. And it's not all about compensation, it's about the opportunity. Number 2, value-driven pricing. I want to have people who want to buy from me that value my product or my service, whichever one you're targeting, but value me so much that they're willing to pay and they're not going to complain about it. And also, I only want to really serve the people I want to serve. Like, this is it. I don't want to serve people I don't want to serve. Like, I'm tired of serving people who don't value me, who don't appreciate me, who don't want to use me forever. They're just using me for temporary purposes. Like, I am definitely tired of that, and I think you are too. So this is my recap. So here's where we go, right? Let's now talk about your path moving forward. So I believe here today, just to be clear, that there's a path for you moving forward. If you're trying to go to 7 figures, I have your path. Like, I know where it needs to start. There's a few places actually that I can recommend, but I'm going to recommend one that really just stands out to me right now. I want to help you get to 7. So if you're here and you want to get to 7 figures, type 7 figures for me, please. If you're here and you want to get to 7 figures, type 7 figures, please. And I'm going to help you here. All right. If you're here, you want to get to 7 figures, let's talk. All right. So I see some of you guys here, 7 figures. Thank you so much. All right, let's talk here. So over the last 4 days, we've talked about a lot of things, right? We talked about creating time. We talked about eliminating the beliefs that's stopping you. We've investing in you, and not only in your business. We talked about the waste of money and how that's not good. So we've talked about all these things, right? And so I'm ready really to help you get to that next level. And I want to help you in some bigger ways, because I hope you've been enjoying these trainings, and I hope that I'm enlightening some of the things that maybe you knew about but you needed to be exposed. See, a good coach or a good mentor will help you see the things you can't see, help you see the unseen. And then once you see something, you can't unsee it. It's kind of interesting how that works, right? So time for us now to take action together is what I'm thinking. And the action that I want to help you take is the surprise for you today. This is where I want to share with you what we can do together moving forward. Because I believe if you want to get to 7 figures, you don't need to just do it alone. I tried to do it alone, it didn't work. I had to go with people. If I want to go far, I got to go together, right? I want to go fast, I go alone. I don't want to go fast, because you go run fast in the wrong direction, it's a really crappy life, I promise you that. So today I want to talk to you about Tax Growth Con. Now, why do I want to talk about Tax Growth Con? Because if you've been here and you've gone through all this today, 7 figures, I want to bring you into a room where you can be filled with energy, with vitality, with enthusiasm, with motivation, but more importantly, with the spirit of millionaires. The spirit of people going out and chasing what they want. The spirit of people who want to grow, not just go. And so I'm going to talk to you about this because it's very important to me. So Tax Growth Con is an event put on, first of its kind, that is going to get you engaged in your business. I'm not here to teach you about taxes. I'm not here to teach you about, Section 179 deductions and depreciations, and we're not going to talk about EACE credits and all that. No. You've done that long enough. You don't even have to be the best tax professional to be the best tax professional, just to be clear. Your business is more important than taxes right now. Not very many businesses treat their business like a business. And in this case, not very many tax professionals treat their business like a business. They treat it like a hobby. They work on it sometimes. They do customers to make money. They do their tax returns to make money, and they don't get very far doing that. There's very serious ones that want to go to 7 figures. They get in the room with people who want to go to 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 figures, and that are doing it because the energy level is different. The communication channels are different. The networking is different. So the event is taking place May 17th through the 19th, and I'm just going to break some of this down. Who needs to be there? Let me be very clear. If you're watching right now, let me tell you if you need to be there. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you if you don't. If you do, you do. Here it is. If you are tired of staying the same, getting through year and year and year, feeling like I'm almost there, I'm going to get there, like it could be next year where we just break out. If I could just get 20 more customers, it would be good. If your income has been around the same for the last 3 years, and you're just like, man, there's got to be something different, and you're constantly whining and complaining about the competition or the customers or what's going on in the world that's impacting your business, if any of those things are said out of your mouth, you need to be in this room. Because I promise you, there are people out there that are growing right now. I'm growing. My income, my revenue this year is up over last year with less customers. Like, people are growing right now. And if you're not growing right now, or if you're growing and not at the speed that you want, you've got to get in the room with people who know how to help you get there. And this is like the key to success. It's called modeling. It's references. Like people put what got them there out in the open, in public, and some people get it and some people don't. The people who get it are the people who get in the room, and typically people who pay, like I said, value. So if you want to take your business to the next level, go for it. And if you don't, if you're thinking, well, I'm okay, I can't tell you how many people have told me this year that I have enough customers. I'm like, what is wrong with you? What it tells me is you're overworked if you tell me you have enough customers. What I mean by that is you're just overworked. You're just like, I can't handle any more customers. There's a difference between handling customers and having too many customers. Both of them are bad. You can never have enough customers, but you only want the right customers, just to be clear. All right. So here's some of the speakers. Myself, Coach Michael Burt, Karen Bettis. She's going to talk to you. She's one of the best operators in the tax industry today. She's going to be speaking to you guys. Michael Burt, the #1 activator of Pray Drive in the world, America's coach. Stacy Barnes, CEO, coach, leadership mentor, been in the tax industry for over 20 years. We got Stan Phelps, one of the best. I can't tell you. He taught me so much about customer experience, employee engagement, the development of a team. Like, this guy is rock solid on development. He's written, I don't know how many books. I can't even count them anymore because the guy has definitely changed my life. All these guys you can Google. Cody Askins, the founder of 8% Nation. He's in the insurance industry, but the guy is a master promoter, marketer, and developer of teams. This guy's killer. I promise you, when you meet him, you're going to say, this guy's got energy. He's got fire, vitality, and he's going to take your business to the next level. This is our lineup so far. There is so much more coming, so many more big announcements, so many more people that are going to be there that I need you to make a commitment to be there. So we have several tickets that you can get to this event. I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to tell you something. Stay on, because I'm going to give away something super special right now. If I were you, I'd be looking at Diamond, because Diamond Elite's going to get the extra day, some special perks that nobody else is going to get, like special private dinners, special Q&As with the speakers. Stan Phelps is only actually coming in for the Diamond session. So if you want to be around Stan Phelps, it's something you should do. So let me just get into this, because I think this is good. So I promised you guys a surprise. Here's a surprise, okay? Everybody ready? If you're here, put I'm ready. Please comment, I'm ready. I'm ready. If you're ready, put I'm ready, please. Put I am ready. If you're there, put I'm ready. I'm looking for you. Okay, we got you guys. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's do this. So the best offer I've ever given to Tax Growth Con. Now, I know that we've been promoting this for a few months. I'm telling you, this is the best offer, and I don't actually think we'll give an offer this good ever again. So if you're paying attention and you know somebody who wants to be at this event, you might want to tag them right now, because I promise you, this is crazy. This is crazy. All right. So who wants to get a ticket to the event? If you want to get a ticket, say I want one. If you want a ticket, say I want one, because I'm about to do this. Like, actually, I should say, who wants a free ticket? Who wants one? Say, I want one. I want one. Come on, man. Who wants a free ticket to this event? Because I'm going to give some free tickets away. But here's how you do it, okay? Number one, I want to celebrate somebody, right? So on Wednesday or Tuesday, actually, I challenged the group to go into our group and post one of their challenges that they believe is holding them back. And I had a guy, one of our members, a guy, I guess he's a guy, right? Or man. I had one of our members who like took so hard to that. And he went and he did it right away. And he was an action taker. Not only he's the only one, there's a few others, but his just stood out to me because he really is so, he was really so detailed and so committed to actually sharing with the group in a very fast pace. And I was so excited to see it. So I picked him because he was my favorite contributor. I'm being honest with you. It was such a good contribution to the group. I want to celebrate him. So congratulations to Mr. John Hart. I'm going to give you a free ticket to Tax Growth Con 2022. John Hart, congratulations. Can we give John Hart a congratulations? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Give him a congratulations. I'm going to give him a free ticket to Tax Growth Con 2022. Congratulations, John Hart. You are the man. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us about the group. All right. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about our pro tickets, because this is something I think maybe you're on the fence, maybe you're thinking about joining, maybe you're thinking about attending, but you're not quite sure. Maybe you have a team. Maybe you have your team and you're like, well, I want to go, but I want to take my team. Well, typically when people want to take their team, they always look for the tickets that are probably the most affordable. And so I wanted to give you guys the opportunity, either you or yourself or somebody on your team, to be at this event at a very good and affordable price. And so this is our pro ticket. It's our entry-level ticket, but it is still a powerful ticket. You still get access. So let's talk about the pro ticket. So the pro ticket's valued at $797. Just hear me out before you guys jump off. I promise you it's not $797. Just hear me out, okay? So $797 for a pro ticket. What does that get you? It gets you access to 2 full days of tax business growth strategies. So we're going to talk about customer acquisition, ideal customers. We're going to talk about strategy in as far as how to find those customers, right? We're going to talk about employee engagement and employee and team building. We're going to talk about activation of Prey Drive. We're going to talk about marketing and creating events. We're going to be talking about everything that would get your business to the next level for 2 days. I'm going to give you access to the hottest party of the year, the Tax Growth Con Welcome Party. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have some fun. It's going to be a time for you to go out and meet some of the other top performers in the industry like yourself, who are all trying to get to that next level and who are on a path to, because some of the biggest relationships I've ever made in my life have been at events like this. And it was at the networking, and typically it was over a drink. That's the honest truth. So, and last, you're going to get access to 2 full days of networking with other successful people in the tax industry. Okay, this is entry-level ticket. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's the best that you can get to get in as an entry level. Now, I want to give you this ticket, not at $797, just to be clear. But the only way I want to do this is I want to help you make a decision today, okay? So we're going to help you make a decision by saying, I want to do something special for you guys because I want you to go pro today, okay? I'm going to do something super special for you if you want to go pro today. So here's the deal. If you want to go pro today, I'm going to add a few things. I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm going to give you 3 days of pre-event breakdown to get you prepared and give you insights on what to expect at Tax Growth Con. So 3 days, I'm going to dig deep like this. We're going to talk about the speakers. We're going to talk about what you should take away. We're going to talk about how to be prepared, what to wear, what to do, when to see things, the agenda. I'm going to break it all down in 3 days for you. So when you get there, you're pumped, you're stoked, and you're ready to rock. This could be for you or for your team, okay? I'm going to give you a bonus. I'm also going to give you some swag. I'm going to give you a badass cap. Now, you're like, yeah, I want the cap. I should have brought one. I had one in my car. This is a badass cap, just to be clear. But you can get some swag. That's a $97 value. Okay, this was a $1997 value. We'll give you $97 value. So what I want to do is I'm going to give you a pro ticket. By the way, I'm going to give away some free tickets, so don't jump off. We're going to give you pre-event training. I'm going to give you Tax Growth Con swag. It's a $2891 value. Now, you're probably wondering, that's a lot of money. Don't worry. I'm not trying to get you there. I'm just trying to tell you, I want to give a lot of value to you today. I want to over-deliver to you today. I want to make you feel like this is the best you can get. Oh, yeah. Let me see that. Thank you, sir. Check this out. Thank you, George. Should I put it on? Oh, I don't want to put them mess up my hair. All right, $28.91. Now I want to do something else because I want to do this even bigger. So I'm going to give you the swag. I'm going to give you the actual 3-day training. Give you a ticket to the pro ticket to the Tax Growth Con. Last but not least, I want to give something great to you. I'm going to do a double bonus. Here's what I want to do. I want to give you a post-event masterclass on how to maximize the knowledge that you gained and leverage it to win in your business after the event. It's a $547 masterclass that I'm going to do that you're only going to have access to. This is exclusive. $547. I'm going to give you this as part of the pro ticket. So you're going to get a lot of things from me. I'm also going to give you access to a training, to all training content produced in this group for life. So what I also am going to do is I'm going to get you, like this training, I'm going to take it down in 3 days, by the way. The training that I just did, that I gave you, I'm going to take it down in 3 days. In 3 days, I'm going to take this whole thing down. And when I take it down, just to be clear, when I take it down, it won't be there anymore, but I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to make it accessible to you after this, okay? So that's $997. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a pro ticket. You're going to get pre-event training. You're going to get Tax Growth Con swag. You're going to get a post-event masterclass, and you're going to get a training content access for life, a $4,435 value. Now, let me tell you something. I don't want to charge you $4,435. I don't. Just so you know, a Diamond Elite ticket's $5,000. You might as well buy that if you don't want all that, right? But here's the deal. I want to help you. So not $4,435. I can do it all today for $597. A ticket. That is Unheard of. Let me tell you why. Because if you want to get in the room, it's $7.97 regular price, just the ticket right now. This is something we've never done before. But if you do it today, you're going to get all of these bonuses. You're going to get the pre-event training, the Tax Growth Con swag, the post-event masterclass, and the training content access for life. You're going to get all that for less than what you'd pay on the website today. For less than you'd put on the website today. So can we get that website up, Ian? I'm going to put the website up here where you can go get this. But let me tell you something. I'm going to give you one last giveaway because I want to push you over the edge. I want you to know that this is an event you don't want to miss. This is an event you don't want to miss. You can go to taxgrowthcon.com/pro deal to get this deal, by the way. But here's what I want to tell you. I'm going to give you one last thing. Fast action, because this is the biggest deal. For those of you who want to take action today, this is big. Pay attention, I promise. For the first 10 people who want to commit today that buy a ticket, I'll give you an additional Tax Growth Con Pro ticket for free. You'll get 2 for the price of 1. For $5.97, you're going to get 2 tickets. And a one-on-one breakthrough call with me personally, where I can help you find out what you need to do to grow your company and your business and hope you get over some of the pain and the struggle that I went through. I'm going to give you these 2 things for the first 10 people. So you're going to get some time with me. You're going to get an extra bonus ticket. You're also going to get everything that I just referenced, the pre-event training, the Tax Growth Con swag, the post-event training, where we're going to break down exactly what you learned and how you can go implement that, right? We can go do that. Additional free tax tickets, an additional free Tax Growth Con ticket, and a one-on-one breakthrough call with me for the first 10 people that decide to sign up today. Now, I see some people in here. If you have questions, please ask those questions. So the total value of what I'm giving away is $6,124 for a total price of $597 today. $597 gets you to the hottest event in the tax industry, where you'll get around people who are wanting to grow, who want to change, who want to build, who want to get to the next level, just like you. And you're going to get some information, some strategy, some ideas, some content from some of the biggest names in the tax industry. And you're going to get the opportunity to meet them. I mean, how often do you get to meet people like that, right? How often do you get that? If you're in here, say, I want one. If you're here, say, I want one. I want to see, I'm going to look to see who purchases first, because the first person, I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call you out once you make that purchase, right? So just to know, this sale is going to end. I'm going to end the sale today on Monday, on Monday at midnight. So if you really want to get a ticket to this thing, you've got to go get your ticket right now at taxgrowthcon.com/pro deal. If you want to get your team there, if you want to get your coworkers, your business partner, if you want to get there, this is the most affordable ticket you're ever going to see. I promise you that. I will not make it any cheaper. You won't get any of these bonuses. I will remove all these bonuses at midnight on February 28th. By the way, we're only going to give 10 bonus tickets away, so you get 2 for 1. That's insane. So I'm going to give you the masterclass. I'm going to give you the breakdown for 3 days. I'm going to give you the swag. I'm going to give you opportunities to meet with me. I mean, this is insane deal. I've never done something like this before. In fact, when I was putting it together, I said, this is just, wow. Like, I'm giving away this kitchen sink, right? I really believe that. And it is insane how many people I have heard from and talked to that are just like, man, I want to get to this event, but I really am on a tight budget. And I said, let me see what I can do. And this is where this came from. If you'd like another ticket, by the way, I see some of you commenting here that you'd like another ticket level. I can help you with that. Please just direct message me or send me an email, david@davidaperez.com, or just comment or something, and I'll reach out to you. Comment with ticket level you want in the group here in this chat, and I'll help you get that ticket. I see a Diamond Elite, I see stuff, but if you want a pro ticket, you want to get your team engaged, you want to get engaged, this is the ticket you want to get, because it's the most affordable with a lot of bonuses, okay? So a lot of the bonuses, here they are. You get pre-event training, you get the Tax Growth Con swag, you get post-event training masterclass, you get the training content access for life, an additional free Tax Growth Con ticket, and you get a breakthrough call with me for the first 10 people. You get an additional ticket and a breakthrough call for the first 10 people. And I see some people here Is there a limit to the pro deal? There's a question. Is there a limit to the pro deal? It is only for the first 25 people. So 10 of them are going to get a breakthrough call. I may expand that if depending on demand right now, but I really don't want to sell a ton of these tickets at such an affordable price. If you're on here and you want to ask me a question or you want to put something in here, please do that. So let me go break these down one more time, right? So let me just share with you one more time. So I want to give you a ticket, which is going to give you 2 days access to the whole event, where we're going to break down strategies that are literally going to change your business. Give you access to the hottest party of the year, where you're going to be able to create friendships and networks that you will have for the rest of your life. Plus the 2 whole days of networking, where you actually get to be in the room, go to breakout sessions, and learn from some of the best names in the industry and in the world. So I'm also going to give you 3 days of a pre-event breakdown. So I'm going to break down exactly what you're going to learn, what you should be thinking about, how do you get there, what to dress like, and all those things in between. The most common questions that people have when they go to an event, but more importantly, how I can make the event the best event you've ever gone to. I'm going to give you a Tax Growth Con cap, which is the swag. I'm going to give you pre-event tickets. I'm going to give you all these things for $28.91. I'm going to give you a bonus of a post-event masterclass where we're going to actually talk about the strategy that you can use to implement some of the things that we went through. I'm going to give you training content for life that we have in this group, because I'm going to take this training down on Monday night. Like, I'm taking it down. You won't see this training anymore. I'm also going to give you all of this for $4,435 plus for $597. Plus, I'm going to give you, if you join the first 10 people to go ahead and purchase, you are going to get an exclusive one-on-one with me. Plus, I'm going to give you a bonus ticket to the event. So you're going to get a bonus ticket. And let me thank you. I'm going to thank Esther. Thank you. Thank you so much, Esther, for taking the commitment and making a commitment to purchase. You've already got one of our giveaways gone and a bonus ticket on the way. Thank you so much. I see Kristen. Thank you, Kristen. Kristen, thank you so much for making your decision today to purchase. I am very thankful for you guys. We've got 2 given away. We have 8 more to go with the bonus ticket plus the strategy session. So please, if you're on here, I see a few of you already going in. I see a lot of you visiting the page. Please make sure you make that commitment before it gets too late. So all of this that I'm giving away, honestly, this is the biggest deal I've ever done, ever, and anything I've ever done. All of this you're going to get for a low price of $597. If you diverse 10 people, you are going to get a free ticket. I would want a free ticket if I were you. So is there any questions that you may have? And I'm going to come down here. So here's the QR code if you want to do it. This offer is going to end on the 28th at midnight. So please take advantage of that before the day is over. I don't want you to miss out on the first 10 people to purchase the tickets, okay? I don't want you to miss out on that, because you definitely deserve to get the tickets to this event. All right, I see some of you on here. I'm looking at the site to see if anybody's hitting it. So I see if some of you are still here. I have exhausted everything I can share with you today, except other than some of the biggest decisions. Biggest changes in business decisions I've ever made has come from going to events. It's come from getting around people who are thinking bigger. It's come from people who shared their insights, or maybe not even their insights, just shared their experience, even if it wasn't related to the tax industry. Just sharing their business decisions that they've made has really changed my career and my life. And I personally benefit every time I get to encounter and engage with anybody, even yourselves. So I'm very truly thankful for you and for the insights that you give me through this group and the engagement. But I definitely want to make sure that I give you the opportunity to work with me. If you want a different ticket besides Pro, please comment in the chat. We'll reach out to you. But more importantly, if you want to get in the room with some of the best people in the world, get your Pro tickets before they sell out, okay? Get your Pro tickets before they sell out. And I really appreciate each and every one of you watching. And if you want a different ticket, please let me know. And you guys have a fantastic and amazing rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching the 7-figure business that I run without doing one tax return. Bye-bye.